and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Hunter Henry brings it in. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
Taking a peek in the backfield at Melvin Gordon, who finished 3 yards short of 1,000 in 2016. Made sure that wouldn't happen in 2017. Rushed for over 1,100 yards, 12 total touchdowns. What I've always liked about him is how he keeps adding to his game. He did it in college, continues to do it in the NFL. We'll continue to see him blossom.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
Last year's #1 overall pick comes off the edge for this defense. Slowed a bit by injuries as a rookie. Still had 7 sacks in 11 games and showed pass rush ability that makes teams take notice because not only can he rush off the edge, he can kick inside in their nickel or sub packages and rush over the guards and create a little bit of havoc for quarterbacks trying to see upfield.
On third down, Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I want to see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. The numbers for him from a week ago, 23 carries, 118 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete for Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talked about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now a look at the Chargers starting 11 on defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Mayfield. Now he's forced out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead. The penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Ready. 380.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the 1st.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They go play action. Mayfield. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very solid gain of 27. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team. and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Nick Perry not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw is Rivers. Going underneath for Gordon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
This is taken at the 15. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and possession will switch hands. First and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out right at the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
And another example of why Baker Mayfield went #1 in the draft. His ability to confound defensive coordinators. They played him for the pass. They covered it well. He takes off with his legs and scrambles for a big gain.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade,
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
First down, Mayfield. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down and 11-yard pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for not much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. Down to about the 22 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here we go now.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Second down, Mayfield. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Now the try here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Eckler to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A give. This is Chubb. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Denzel Perryman coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
Gone!
Mayfield. Flushed out right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Demetrius Harris, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy. He had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Eckler to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Still first down. A decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Rivers, and his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and that'll make it third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Third and short yardage, Rivers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They pitch it to Chubb. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. So they can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Mayfield now, and he's got Fitzgerald. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You know, you get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Throwing, Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Rivers now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. from the shotgun. It's Rivers. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Gone, 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 gone.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On third downs, it's Hunt. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield is going to fire one deep over the middle and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 32 that time. Mayfield showing why he was the #1 overall pick. He's got the Browns on the move. 1st and 10. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now Chubb. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Such a highly touted product out of Ohio State. Bosa has not disappointed in the NFL.
Not even close. Rookie of the year, his 1st season. 12.5 sacks and a Pro Bowl his 2nd season. What's next for this guy? I say the sky's the limit, and you know how much he loves pass rushing. Even swaps moves with the opposition post-game, always trying to get better.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin with, let's call it a testy-est rivalry in the NFL today. Cincinnati playing host to Pittsburgh in the AFC North. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back.